A few years ago, I found my grandfather's death certificate from North Dakota. I remember opening it, thinking I was finally going to learn what happened to him. And then, nothing. The cause of death was completely omitted. If you've ever had this happen in your own family research, you know how frustrating it feels. You finally track down the record you've been hunting for, only to realize the most important information is missing. But here's what surprised me. Years later, I found my grandfather's obituary in a German-language North Dakota newspaper. And suddenly, the mystery started opening up. The obituary listed his cause of death and even mentioned health problems he had struggled with for years. The answer had been sitting in a newspaper all along. And that's what this video is about. Because if your ancestor's death certificate is incomplete, missing, or restricted, there are still ways to uncover what may have happened. In fact, sometimes the real clues come from records most genealogists never think to search. Now, before we go any further, let me say that you may not always find an exact answer. Sometimes you're piecing together clues instead of finding one perfect document. But those clues can still tell an incredibly powerful story. And honestly, that's part of what makes genealogy so fascinating. One little clue leads to another, then another. And suddenly, you're uncovering details about your ancestor's life that nobody in the family remembered anymore. One of the best places to start is newspapers. Obituaries are obvious, of course, but don't stop there. Search for local news articles, funeral notices, church gatherings, accident reports, court news, and even community gossip columns. Small-town newspapers in the early 1900s often reported things that would never appear in modern papers today. And here's something many people miss. Search newspapers from the weeks before the death, not just after. Why? Because communities often reported outbreaks of illness before people died. They talked about quarantines, school closures, influenza outbreaks, diphtheria cases, and families who were sick. That brings me to another story from my own family. My grandparents lost a baby named Theodore in 1908. He was only 8 months old. Once again, the death certificate gave me almost nothing. No cause of death, no explanation. And as a genealogist, that really stays with you. You start wondering what happened to this little child. Was he sick? Was there an epidemic? Was there some kind of accident? So instead of researching Theodore directly, I started researching what happened in that community during 1908. When you look at history around the time your ancestor died, you start seeing the bigger picture. In the early 1900s, diseases like measles, diphtheria, scarlet fever, influenza, and whooping cough were incredibly dangerous for infants and children. Some towns were hit hard by outbreaks. Local newspapers often mentioned entire families becoming sick. Sometimes they published quarantine notices. Sometimes they listed children who died during an epidemic. Now, I may never know exactly what happened to Theodore, but if I find reports of a disease outbreak happening in the exact town during the same time frame, it helps me make a much more informed guess. And suddenly, history becomes personal. That's one of the most powerful parts of genealogy. You stop looking at names and dates, and you start understanding what your family actually lived through. But newspapers are not the only hidden source. I had another breakthrough while researching my great-great-grandfather, who died in 1859. For years, all I really had was a memorial on Find a Grave. No death certificate, no clear explanation of what happened. Then I found a short newspaper article mentioning his death. And after that, I discovered something many genealogists overlook completely: the U.S. Federal Census mortality schedule. If you've never searched for those before, they can be incredible. Mortality schedules were special census records taken in certain years that listed people who had died during the previous 12 months. And unlike many early death records, they often include the cause of death. That single record gave me information I had been missing for years. So if your ancestor died before statewide death certificates became common, mortality schedules can be a goldmine. They exist for many states in the 1850, 1860, 1870, and 1880 census years, and most people never even think to check them. Another great source is church records. Some churches kept burial records with details that never made it onto official government records. Ministers sometimes wrote notes about illnesses, accidents, or family tragedies directly into the register books. Cemeteries can help too. Burial permits, sexton records, and funeral home records occasionally include cause of death or medical details. And then there are probate records and court records. If someone died unexpectedly, there may have been a coroner's report, a newspaper article, or court proceedings connected to the death. Farm accidents, railroad injuries, workplace incidents, and even epidemics sometimes show up in records you would never expect. And don't underestimate local historical societies. Small-town museums and archives often have collections that were never digitized. Old newspaper clippings, funeral cards, church anniversary books, county histories. Sometimes the answer you need exists in one little folder sitting in a file cabinet somewhere. Now here's the part I really want you to remember. When a record is missing information, that does not mean the story is gone. It just means you have to become a detective. Some of the best discoveries in genealogy happen after you hit a brick wall, not before. Because the deeper you dig, the more you begin uncovering the world in which your ancestors lived. Their illnesses, their hardships, their communities, their daily lives. And sometimes those discoveries become the stories your family talks about for generations. If you're struggling to find ancestors or solve family mysteries, I've created a free genealogy resource to make finding your missing ancestor easier. You'll find the download link in the description below. If you found this information helpful, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more genealogy tips, free research tools, and family history strategies. And one more thing before you go. Check out this video right here about free genealogy websites that can help you uncover records you may have never seen before. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Good luck with your research, and I'll see you in the next one.